CTV News with Sarah Freemark.
Taxes don't always work, and I don't think it's the right thing to do at this time.
A pint may now pinch your pockets, just another squeeze on an economy already feeling the strain. Thanks for joining us. Those in Ontario that enjoy a drink are now paying more at the bar and the liquor store as hikes to alcohol tax, although briefly paused, have been brought back into play. As CTV's Mike Lang tells us, from consumers to businesses, it's tough to find support for the boost in booze costs.
The latest alcohol tax increase is yet another challenge for local restaurant owners.
They have to pass it on to us, and then we have to pass it on to our customers and guests.
Yvette Wickstead says the Bull and Barrel pub has seen increased foot traffic over the past several years, but rising costs have resulted in flattening sales.
I've tried not to increase my prices. I try to give everybody a break, but I'm trying to run a business here. I have to tick them up.
Other establishments confirming price increases to keep up with expenses.
Obviously, we have to keep our costs in control when these kinds of things happen and stay in budget. So a lot of the times that means the price increase for the customers here.
Some customers taking notice.
I think it's Mahalo crap. It's just another way for the government to make money.
I think with these trying times, I don't think any more taxes is really going to benefit anybody.
In 2017, the federal government introduced legislation for excise alcohol taxes to automatically increase with inflation on April 1st of each year without parliamentary approval. Since 2023, that annual hike has been capped at 2% in an attempt to flatten costs. According to the Ontario Restaurant, Hotel and Motel Association, this year's hike will add nearly $14 million to the industry tax burden.
3/4 of a price of beverage alcohol product is made up either of provincial, federal taxes or markup fees. There's not much going to the end user.
Restaurants left with either continuing to raise prices or hoping for other revenue opportunities on their menus.
You name it, I'm trying to find efficiencies everywhere.
The federal government confirmed on Wednesday that the 2% cap will be extended for another 2 years, and the excise duty rate on the first 15,000 hectoliters of beer brewed in Canada will remain cut by half. Mike Lang, CTV News, Barrie.
Our province's minimum wage is going up this October, but here in Simcoe County, some advocates say the living wage is still higher, leaving the average Ontarian hundreds of dollars short every week. CTV's Rob Cooper reports.
Mateus Lusvargi owns and operates Hyper Barrie on Dunlop Street, a small smoothie shop with 2 part-time staff. Like many small business owners, he's just receiving word of the province's plan to increase the minimum wage.
Obviously, I value my team, so I'll be paying them the rightful minimum wage when it comes October. And I'll just have to keep looking for, looking at our pricing, make sure that everything is still sustainable, right?
Lusvargi says he was hoping to hire 4 more staff in the coming months, but may have to hold off on that for the time being. Today, the province announced it'll increase the minimum wage by 45 cents an hour to $17.95 at the beginning of October. The increase is tied to Ontario's Consumer Price Index at 1.9% and helps ensure wages continue to reflect economic conditions. Many people feel the increase still falls short.
Living on minimum wage can't be done nowadays.
But unfortunately, there's still, even after that increase to the minimum wage, October 1st, there's still no place in the province where you can work a minimum wage job full-time and still be able to pay all your bills.
Craig Pickthorne is with the Living Wage Network. He says even with the increase, minimum wage earners in Barrie are still $6.65 an hour short of affording life.
It works out to $230+ a week that you're short in being able to pay your bills if you're working a minimum wage job. So yes, the time is now.
I don't believe the 45-cent increase for the minimum wage is enough to compensate for the cost of groceries, high price of gas, and cost of living in today's economy.
Now, the province says there are about 700,000 people in Ontario that make minimum wage. The average worker working 40 hours a week will take home more than $700 more every year. The planned increase is expected to take effect on October the 1st. Rob Cooper, CTV News, Barrie.
And that brings us to tonight's CTV web poll. What do you think? Is this minimum wage hike enough to make a real difference for most families? We'd like to hear from you. Our new poll is live on our website, ctvnews.ca/Barrie, so please do weigh in with your thoughts. Now to the case of a young Métis man who says he was attacked by a group of people after a night out partying in Wasaga Beach. CTV's Mike Arcelides reports, but a warning that this story contains images and details that may be disturbing.
They beat me with a baton, 2 batons, and a hatchet, and they left me for dead.
For more than a year, 17-year-old Nicholas Jolicoeur and his mother have sought justice for a brutal beating he received in Wasaga Beach last March.
Because they didn't like me and thought it was funny.
I believe that it's motivated by hate, jealousy. They wanted to make fun of him.
Nicholas says he remembers being called a savage that night during a party involving alcohol and marijuana. Now 2 of the young men accused of assaulting Nicholas, who is Métis, have taken plea deals. One man, 23-year-old Dominic Leggett of Wasaga Beach, pleaded guilty in January to disobeying a court order, handed a conditional discharge along with probation and a $100 fine. Leggett had initially been charged with assault with a weapon. All other charges against him were withdrawn.
Not for you.
Today in Barrie, this man, now 18, whose identity is protected by a publication ban, pleaded guilty to 2 counts of assault with a weapon. One for admitting to flashing a machete at Jolicoeur earlier that night. Another incident 3 months later the court heard involved bear spray and wanting to fight another teen. He also admitted to smashing a car window. While the teen acknowledged Jolicoeur suffered injuries the night of the beating, the court heard the Crown could not prove the youth was one of 5 men who attacked Nicholas, who says they stole his Gucci belt and left him unconscious by the beach.
My son did nothing wrong. Nothing. He was left on the beach, and they left him bleeding for hours in the freezing cold.
Jolicoeur is still recovering from the beating.
Hurts a lot.
The investigation into what happened continues. Following his guilty plea, the youth apologized to the court before leaving with a loved one. Placed on probation for 2 years, the youth is also ordered to complete 40 hours of community service within 15 months. Mike Arcelides, CTV News, Barrie.
An update now to a Bolton homicide investigation that OPP have been on since 2021. A 5th person has now been arrested in connection to the death of 65-year-old Giovanni Costa, who was found dead at his home on Harvest Moon Drive in January of 2021. At the time of the incident, police say that 2 suspects entered the home, shooting 2 people and killing Costa. A 45-year-old from Ottawa now faces first-degree murder, attempted murder, and conspiracy charges. Now, 2 still remain at large, with police looking for 27-year-old Philman Feshag Hergis and 28-year-old Wahid Barakzai, both from London, with warrants out on multiple murder charges. A $50,000 reward is being offered for information leading to their arrests, but police, they're warning the public to not approach those suspects. Meanwhile, Barrie police are investigating a home invasion and attempted robbery. Officers say 4 masked men armed with handguns forced their way into a home on Draper Crescent near Leggett Avenue. That was on Tuesday morning. 3 people inside were assaulted and treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Investigators say the suspects demanded money, drugs, and jewelry, but left empty-handed before police arrived. Bracebridge OPP has charged 1 person following an incident. This was in Gravenhurst. Police say a man allegedly tried to enter a home on 1st Street South with a weapon. That was on Monday night. The suspect fled and was located on Highway 11 in Aurelia, where officers made the arrest. A 29-year-old Brampton man is facing multiple charges, and police say the victim's house was not randomly targeted. Ontario's seatbelt law is now in its 51st year, but road fatalities still highlight the importance of buckling up. The OPP reports nearly 1 in 4 fatal crashes involve someone not wearing a belt. Over the Easter long weekend, officers will run a province-wide campaign encouraging all drivers and passengers to use seatbelts and for children to be in car or booster seats. Last year, people not buckling up resulted in 41 deaths in our province. Meanwhile, Barrie police are urging people to stay alert against fraud scams. Cryptocurrency are currently on the rise, those scams accounting for the loss of more than $3 million from multiple victims in recent months. Police say these incidents often begin online through social media and are advising the public to be cautious when clicking on links or sharing your personal information. The Royal Canadian Air Force marked its 102nd anniversary today with a flag-raising ceremony at Barrie City Hall.
I, Alex Dunnell, Mayor of the City of Barrie, do hereby proclaim the week of March 30th to April 5th, 2026 as the official 102nd anniversary of the Royal Canadian Air Force in our city, and urge all citizens to join in honoring and celebrating this momentous occasion.
Military leaders, local officials, and community members gathered to honor the Air Force's history and service. The commemoration highlighted CFB Borden as the birthplace of the RCAF on April 1st of 1924, where one of the original hangars still stands as a National Historic Site.
Today's anniversary is not just about our past, though we do stand on the shoulders of the giants who came before us. It is about the RCAF of today, an Air Force ready to defend and protect citizens of this vast nation and responding wherever Canadians are in need.
Barrie has always honored that close association between the RCAF and its citizens, and we are very thankful for that.
Today's ceremony, hosted by the RCAF Association's 441st Huronia Wing, served as a tribute to more than a century of Canadian Air Force heritage and service, both here at home and abroad. The vessel Vincent Massey is getting ready to carry out ice-breaking operations in Midland once again. The Canadian Coast Guard says this could happen on or around April 2nd, intended to clear ice and keep shipping channels open for commercial vessels traveling in and out of the area. Officials warn that ice-breaking can create dangerous conditions, including broken and unstable ice. Now, let's take a look at our local shoreline, shall we? It seems like that seagull took some time to enjoy a little rest on the tiny bit of ice that still remains at Barrie's Centennial Beach. We can finally see the sand, though. That's a positive. The spring thaw, of course, it's a work in progress, aren't we all? As some of that winter snow hangs around, let's head outside to somebody who's perfect as he is. Casey Colby, how was your Wednesday?
So far, it's getting better, apparently, yes. Lovely out here, it truly is. No gloves and pure country hat. So it's not a toque, it's quite pleasant. Let's continue on. Is it going to stay that way, Case? Well, no, we're getting a little bit of rain coming our way. More on that in just a few minutes' time. Let's take a first look at the forecast. Brought to you by the GravelDrivewayGuy.com, your local gravel driveway expert. 2 degrees. Boy, it feels milder than 2. Really does. Winds are light out of the north, 13 kilometers an hour. They'll pick up as the evening progresses. 4 degrees in Toronto, 3 in Parry Sound, 2 in Gravenhurst, 3 in the Sunshine City of Aurelia, and looking at -2 in Collingwood. That's the cool spot in more ways than one this evening. This is radar satellite images and an interesting series of events, weather events occurring this evening. We start to clear, Sarah. We start to clear. Well, parts of our region start to clear. And then things change in a big way. We cloud over and here comes the rain. I'll let you know who gets the most coming up in just a few minutes' time. Back inside.
Snow yesterday, mention of rain today. When will you pass on the message to Mother Nature? Cut us a little break. Yeah. Thanks, Case. Barrie City Council meets tonight with plans to cover a number of items, including community projects, safety, and development. Councillors will discuss a proposed skate park revitalization featuring public art and a legal graffiti wall. Traffic safety concerns on Dunlop Street East will also be reviewed, along with some other topics there. Council will also hear a report on the ongoing state of emergency around encampments, something they're keeping a close eye on as the weather warms up again.
The way that the winter hit this year probably provided a big help in encouraging individuals to get inside and to get those supports and to get that help. And so, you know, I think as we look forward, there'll probably be some sort of a resurgence. But what the City of Barrie has done is we're prepared for it. We've created a team and a task force that's dealing with this. And we will continue with the state of emergency until the day that we see that there's not a need.
We will have a breakdown of tonight's Barrie City Council meeting. That'll be on CTV News Barrie at 11 p.m. Leaf and yard waste collection returns to Simcoe County starting the week of April 6th. Pickup will happen during your regular garbage week with 4 collections through April and May. Residents should place materials at the curb by 7 a.m. on Monday and leave it out all week if it's not collected right away. The program does not include the cities of Barrie or Aurelia. Drivers in Barrie, however, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. You can once again expect delays along that busy stretch of Bayview Drive. Construction crews are set to return in mid-April, bringing heavy equipment and truck traffic back between Big Bay Point and Road and Little Avenue. Expect delays if you're heading down Bayview Drive. The city says delays should, however, be minor. Businesses will stay open as crews enter the final stage of that project. Wildland fire season, it is upon us, and the province says it's ready to protect our communities. After more than 600 fires burned across Ontario last year, officials are investing in more training equipment and new water bombers. Wildland fire season runs until October 31st, and officials remind the public that about half are human-caused, urging people to check conditions and always properly extinguish your campfire. Meanwhile, residents in Muskoka should note that the region's fire danger rating system is now in effect. The town of Bracebridge stating that recreational fires only allowed between 6 p.m. and 8 a.m. And it is official. Canada now has a 30-day refund policy for passports. Starting today, the federal government says it will refund fees to anyone whose processing time for their travel document exceeds 30 business days. The clock starts when a complete application is received and ends when the passport is printed and verified, excluding the mailing time. And this is fun. We've shown you them before. Simcoe County dog teams. They lit up the international stage at the Mid-Michigan Pet Expo. Some rough competition. That's what the team is called. They train locally in Utopia and Innisfil. They scored top finishes in both flyball and dock diving. Innisfil's Edit took first in Division II dock diving, while local dogs Halo and Fettuccine set personal bests in flyball. Let's talk hockey, shall we? The Colts are one step closer to the end of their playoff series against the Ice Dogs in St. Catharines.
40 seconds and 4-on-4. Gardner with a shot, hit the goalpost. No, they score! An absolute bullet by Brad Gardner.
That shot cracked open the game in the first period last night, and they just kept coming. Barrie came out on top with a 5-2 victory over Niagara in Game 3. The Colts are on the road again for Game 4. That'll be tomorrow night.
The road to the Memorial Cup is brought to you by the Boots and Hearts Barn Burner Charity Hockey Game.
Okay, the clock is ticking down. We are just moments away now. 4 astronauts are venturing farther. They're slated to venture farther into deep space than ever before as NASA's Artemis II mission officially lifts off today. 6:24 is supposed to be the liftoff time. CTV's Heather Wright brings us more on the 10-day mission.
Well, the crew is now inside the Orion capsule. They are doing their final checks as this mission gets closer to the launch window. There have been a lot of questions about whether this mission would get the go-ahead. It had been delayed a number of times before because of issues with the fueling. And so when they got past that first hurdle this morning, as they began to tank this spacecraft, we began to hear good signs from NASA officials. There was a positive fueling. Then there was a good weather report. And as all of this was happening, these 4 crew members were getting ready to go to the moon. Their day began waking up just after 9 o'clock, having breakfast, and then going through a number of checks, medical checks, making sure they had been sleeping properly, getting into their spacesuits, and then finally getting into the Astrovan to take them to the launch pad. The excitement down here is something you can really feel everywhere you go. Speaking with members of NASA, speaking with people involved with the Canadian Space Agency, this is a very big moment for space exploration. And what we've been hearing over and over again, that this is really step 1, getting a crewed mission to the moon for the first time since 1972. But the goal is not just to go to the moon, it's to go beyond the moon. I had the opportunity to speak with the NASA administrator yesterday, who said that they have big ambitions for where they want to go. Mars, other planets, exploring asteroids that come close and near Earth. And so this is step 1. It is incredible that a Canadian is part of this mission. We heard from Jeremy Hansen earlier today saying just how proud he is to be Canadian. And really, there are big hopes for the Canadian space program, hopes to send more astronauts to the moon and perhaps beyond. Jeremy has said many times that he does not want to be the last. That's more important than being the first, is not being the last. So he really is laying that groundwork for perhaps more Canadians to follow in his footsteps. But step 1 is the launch of the Artemis II, and we are getting ever closer to that launch window. Back to you.
That's CTV's Heather Wright in Florida. Now, I've just been updated. T-minus 10 minutes as they finish a few last checks. So that's a few minutes after the original 6:24 slated blast-off time. We'll follow it throughout the newscast. Also still to come, locally, grab your basket and come ready to collect. No one leaves without it. This annual tradition where you can immerse yourself in the extravaganza. Plus, aspiring artists step into the spotlight, many for the first time, when these local students will share their art for all to see. You're watching CTV News Barrie. Thanks for staying with us. The town of Wasaga Beach has a special surprise this coming Sunday for all the little bunnies at home to enjoy some Easter treats, fun and entertainment for the whole family. The legendary Candy Factory and Georgian Bay Chocolates have been working on a number of coveted golden ticket prizes for the Wasaga Beach Extravaganza Easter egg hunt. Giant chocolate Easter bunnies along with thousands of little tiny eggs will be hidden throughout the extravaganza area. Kids are encouraged to bring their own basket and be ready for a hopping good time.
We will have petting zoo, we will have jumping castles, we're going to have a craft tent where they can paint their own eggs, we are going to have an MCA wandering the park, entertaining the kids and giving away prizes at the same time. We will have a tent where there'll be free coffee and tea and hot chocolate for everybody to enjoy, and of course the master of ceremonies, the bunny himself, will be there.
The Wasaga Beach Extravaganza starts at 10 a.m. outside the Wasaga Beach Recplex this Sunday. Just see the size of that bunny, my goodness. Georgian College's Campus Gallery in Barrie is showcasing the next generation of artists with a new graduating exhibition.
I very much understand Jade's portrait here. They have their own way of expressing their own art, and I think some of them are absolutely fabulous, and it's very nice to see stuff come together.
The showcase offers a look at the skills and personal voices students have developed through their studies in the form of paintings, sculptures, video animation, and more.
As you make that portfolio, you can also include this here.
Experience like this gives them all facets of the contemporary professional practice of like both the inside view of the gallery, like the kind of work you have to do to mount a show, and then also the rigor as the artist of what it really takes to create work.
Looking at each piece and it tells a story about the person, or like looking at it in a way, just interpreting it as like I'm feeling this person right now, like I'm knowing this person's true self, and as well as just take it in, just like take it in the moment, and it's just like learning about this person by their piece.
You can explore the gallery until April 15th and help send off students into the next step of their creative careers. Never too soon to look towards the weekend, and there is plenty happening around our region. Here's Bounce 104 Morning Show host Martin Van Coy with your weekend event listings.
Hi, I'm Martin Van Coy for Bounce Radio, and these are your weekend events for Pure Country 106 and Bounce 104.1. Kicking things off is the Drysdale's Easter Egg Hunt. It's happening Friday through Sunday at Drysdale's Tree Farm in Egbert. Families can enjoy scheduled egg hunts throughout the day, along with wagon rides and a visit with the Easter Bunny. You can learn more at drysdales.ca. From egg hunts to ice hockey, the Clearview 3-on-3 Youth Hockey Tournament returns this weekend at the Stainer Arena and Community Center. Youth teams from U10 to U18 take part in fast-paced games, including the new girls-only division. The weekend also features a vendor market, and you can learn more at discoverclearview.ca/3-on-3. The Barrie Rock and Gem Show also takes over the Eastview Arena from Friday through Sunday. You can browse stunning crystals, fossils, minerals, and handcrafted gemstone jewelry from vendors all across Canada. There's a special UV exclusive event on Friday night showcasing glowing minerals under ultraviolet light. You can learn more at cangems.ca. Families are invited to the free downtown Aurelia Great Easter Egg Hunt this Saturday morning. Kids begin at the library courtyard and then move along Mississauga Street, collecting eggs and trading them in for treats. The event also features a bubble party, special guests from the OPP, and family-friendly local vendors. You can learn more at downtownorillia.ca. And finally, the Bounce 1041, Pure Country 106, and CTV Barrie Feeding Families campaign wraps up tomorrow night in Midland. We're going to be live from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Canadian Tire, and we're collecting non-perishable food items, personal care items, baby supplies, and cash donations. What's raised in your community stays in your community, and you can get more details at ctvnews.ca/Barrie. Those are your weekend events for Bounce 1041 and Pure Country 106.
I've just been told that the Artemis launch now slated for 6:35 p.m. Still to come here on CTV Barrie, it's an exciting time for our Barrie Baycats moving into the professional league, and at the helm, a new face. We'll be joined by the newly named CEO here in the CTV Barrie studio. But first, let's check in with Case. He's in the garden.
Get your umbrellas ready. Rainfall warning. Yes, it goes from Tobermory right across the top, across Muskoka and Parry Sound. Starting tomorrow night, 30 to 50 millimeters of rainfall. Everybody gets rainfall, but that is the heaviest rainfall of all of our areas. Take a look at this Weather Watcher Artiste, and Alex says, can't wait for summer. I'm going to my first powwow. Well done. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
It's that time of the year. It's our Feeding Families food drive. The demand has never been greater. We're hitting the road as we partner with the Peggy Hill team and our radio partners at Pure Country 106 and Bounce 1041.
Hi, we're Martin and Steph
from Bounce 1041.
And this week on the show, we are giving away pairs of tickets to see Weezer live in concert.
And Bounce to the Bank continues. Your chance to win a daily prize of $1,000 and a grand prize of $25,000.
So tune in Monday to Friday, 5:30 to 10 for your chance to win.
Picture this, brought to you by Bounce 1041 and Pure Country 106.
Oh my, we have some creative people here in the county and beyond. We are exploring and celebrating whatever it is you like to do. Baking, sewing, quilt work. Love to see that. Keep it coming. Picture this at ctv.ca. Now, many like to be creative with their hair, and it seems like the town of Oro-Medonte, they are embracing that because they're bringing back the ultimate 80s vibe to this year's Oro World's Fair. How are they doing that? They're bringing the festival's first ever mullet contest. So people of all ages, doesn't matter how old you are, you can show off your short in the front, party in the back hairstyle and compete for the crown. The 2026 Oro World's Fair returns to the fairgrounds in Oro-Medonte in September. But why am I talking about the mullet? The man who likely embraced this hairstyle the most. What was your hair like in the 80s?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of it. Yeah, it was very mullet, very mullet. That young man didn't look like he was really enjoying that.
Jack told me, did he not?
Jack still got a mullet.
No, well, and that's what I said, and he said, no. We should see, he had a skullet. So he's now working on getting those photos. I'd like you to do the same, and we'll have some fun with those next week. I just had the mushroom cut. I'll show it to you, but it's not quite as good as the mullet.
Mushrooms grow in the spring. They grow all year round, and this is pretty much a mushroom forecast, if you know what I mean, in more ways than one. Let's get right to it and talk about, first of all, the rainfall warning that is Tobermory, Muskoka, Parry Sound, starting tomorrow night, anywhere from 30 to 50 millimeters of rainfall. Highest concentration of rain. Everybody gets rain. We're in Midland tomorrow night for weather. More on that later on. Let's talk about the forecast, and here we go. 0 in Owen Sound right now. In Midland, I'll let you know they're sitting at -2. It's not up there, but that's where we will be tomorrow night for Feeding Families food drive. 3 degrees in Parry Sound. We're looking at 2 degrees in Gravenhurst, 3 in the Sunshine City of Aurora. Call it 2 degrees in Alliston, and 0 in Mount Forest. This is the almanac. 3 and -1. That's the high, that's the low. A record 25 degrees in 1986, and my mullet must have been a mess. Yeah. Minus 16.1 in 1887. That's record cool. Of course, 25 is record hot. 6:57 it rises. 7:47 it sets. 12 hours and 49 minutes. Oh, and there goes Adam rolling the forecast radar. And the rain, you say? The rain. There it is there, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and there's more, isn't there? Yes, it's more than just rain. There is a risk of some freezing rain. Yeah, and some flurries. Well, let's not get ridiculous. Perhaps that could be in the mix as well, depending on the temperature. Hey, this evening, southern tip of Georgian Bay Lake, Simcoe, overnight, -2, -3, -4. Clear skies or clearing skies. I'm looking now, Mother Nature's got a lot of work to do. These skies still very cloudy. 4 degrees tomorrow, increase in cloud cover. So the clearing patch doesn't last too long. Increase in cloud cover, rain, freezing. There's a risk of some freezing rain over the higher elevations. 10 to 15 millimeters of rainfall for tomorrow. That's what we're probably going to be contending with in Midland. But do come out and see us. This is Orangeville, Bradford, Georgina, Newmarket, Richmond Hill, 0, -2, partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, 4 degrees above the freezing mark, increase in cloud cover, and some shower activity should not surprise. No, it shouldn't. Parry Sound, Huntsville, Bracebridge, Gravenhurst, Halliburton, -4, -5, -6. Clear skies, but increase in cloud cover as the evening progresses, and that means, yeah, rain tomorrow, yeah. Lots of rain, yes. The possibility of lots of rain. Well, 30 to 50 millimeters, a lot of rain. There is risk of freezing rain over the higher elevations. That's tonight and tomorrow. Now, time for the Diamond & Diamond Lawyers 5-day extended forecast. Here we go. Wow. More rain, ladies and gentlemen, on Friday. Well, just a 40% chance of shower activity. 17 degrees. Wow, we'll be out here in our speeding. No, we won't be out in our Speedos. Sorry, we won't be out here. Well, we'll be out here, but not in our bathing suits. Cloudy skies, 60% chance of shower activity. 10 degrees on Saturday. Sunday, 40% chance of rain-snow combination at -5. Yeah, it would come down as flurry activity. And Monday, cloudy skies, 2 degrees above the freezing mark. This is the 5-day extended forecast. Lots of cloud cover. Friday, Saturday, this, of course, for York Region. Cloudy, 60% chance of showers on Friday, 60% chance of showers on Saturday. 21 degrees? Yeah, that's 21, that's 8. Big drop. 4, we're still dropping. 30% chance of shower activity, down to 3 on Monday. Yeah, Muskoka, Parry Sound, Halliburton. Friday, cloudy, 60% chance of shower activity, 15 degrees. And 60% chance there of showers on the Saturday, 40% chance of snow on Sunday, just 40%, and then a 30% chance of a few flurries coming down on the Monday. So, yeah, we spike as far as temperatures go. Lots of precipitation, mixed precipitation in the area. Not a whole lot of sunshine, though. And it looks like our Easter bunny might be a little on the damp side come Friday. Back inside, Sarah.
There's a big year ahead for the Barrie Baycats, the transition into the Canadian Baseball League, discussion of a new stadium, and a new chief executive officer. In fact, he joins us now in the CTV Barrie studio. Todd Tuckey, that's got to be one of the best names in the biz. Great to see you.
Hey, thank you, Sarah. Appreciate you having me in today.
Absolutely. So you've stepped into this role as the team is essentially entering into a new era. The team's done very well over at least the past decade. Is that a lot of pressure for you?
Well, I mean, it's pressure, but it's more pressure making sure the fans get what they're expecting. Even though we've entered a fully professional league now, the fans are expecting what we gave them in the past, if not a lot more. So the pressure's there, but I mean, we still have the same president, GM, coach, Josh Matlow. We have trust in him. He just re-signed a 2-year contract with us. You know, we're working on many different aspects and avenues, but no, we're expecting to provide great things for the fans.
Okay, let's see if I can crack into some of those new things ahead. So the transition into the Canadian Baseball League, the CBL, what will that mean to the average fan?
It's going to be better for the fans overall. It's going to provide a better product on the field for them.
So better baseball, you mean?
Way better baseball.
Okay.
And I say better. We've provided great stuff in the past, but what it does now is it allows us for more imports. It increases our cap of what we can spend over the season. So what it means is we're going to put a better product on the field for our fans. So yeah, it's going to be a lot better for the fans.
What a time for you to be sliding into this role. What interested you about it?
Well, we'll probably get into that, Sarah, but what interested me the most right now is the fact that for years we've been in discussions. We've had brief discussions with the city, people inside and outside the city, and it's like, it's time to bring the Baycats home. It's time to bring the Baycats back to Barrie, into Barrie. So that's going to be one of my main roles, is getting a stadium built within the city limits where people can access it, people can get on and off of buses, seniors who just don't like driving out to Midhurst at night. It's just going to make it a much better thing for all fans.
I think I know the answer to this, but what can you tell us about the new stadium?
Well, let's see. It will be in Barrie.
Okay, that's good.
That's really all we know for sure for right now. Again, we are in discussions, just light discussions. We have engaged an architect and a construction firm, so we've been certainly working on budgets and numbers. So it's the base layout of the field and what we need for concessions and proper seating and that. So all that is quickly coming together, and when we get that together, then we can truly narrow down, hopefully with the support of the city, where's the best spot for that stadium.
Putting you on the spot here, but can you give us a rough timeline for that? Those discussions, or even?
I can tell you, based on the ownership group and what they would like to see, is at the very latest, fully up and running within 3 years, hopefully quicker. So it's an aggressive approach, and that's why I believe somewhat why I was appointed into this role, is I'm going to lead the charge of that, and I'm going to do our best to expedite that for the fans, for the franchise, and get it in town as quick as possible.
You're getting us excited over here.
Yes, it's going to be a fun time.
Finally, I just want to expand on what you said about better baseball, if I may put it in the most basic term. Does that mean that some of the players that could be coming through the Baycats would potentially be on a professional or a MLB team someday?
Absolutely. And when you say maybe, it has happened in the past. We have actually had players that have gone to the MLB. We've actually had players come down and join the Baycats. But now they're going to get a much better look because we are now in a fully professional league. So it's going to be better viewing for the MLB and other teams to say, hey, there's some great players, you know, in the CBL or the Barrie Baycats or collectively both. But yeah, it's going to be great for the players, and it can be a stepping stone for them, absolutely.
Very cool. Well, thank you for taking the time, and excited for you, for the team, and then, of course, for the community, Todd.
And thank you. And on a side note, I know this is your 4th year coming up for Home Runs for the Hungry.
Yes.
I believe last year, I could be mistaken, but I think you kind of missed out on getting to first base was the rumor.
Come on. Listen, the pitching was rigged, okay? It wasn't me.
Well, and it could be. I understand Dana finally made it, so.
May 2nd, mark your calendars. I'll be there, and I'm sure you will be too.
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot, Todd.
Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate your time.
If you would like to revisit this conversation, it will be on the CTV Barrie website. There's a look at that, ctvnews.ca/Barrie. Folks, it's happened. The longest range NASA missile in decades is on its way, with Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen and 3 others taking a trip around the moon and back for the first time in 53 years. We'll have more on the launch of the Orion spacecraft launch and its 10-day mission. Plus, we'll recap tonight's top stories. Stay with us. It is magnificent. Recapping our top stories, 17-year-old Nicholas Joliker and his mother have sought justice for an attack in Wasaga Beach last March. Today, an 18-year-old pleaded guilty to 2 counts of assault with a weapon, while a 23-year-old pleaded guilty in January to disobeying a court order. The latest alcohol tax increase is yet another challenge for local restaurant owners. The federal government confirmed on Wednesday that the 2% cap will be extended for another 2 years, and the excise duty rate on the first 15,000 hectoliters of beer brewed in Canada will remain cut by half. Today, the province announced it will increase the minimum wage by 45 cents an hour to $17.95 on October 1st. The increase is tied to Ontario's Consumer Price Index at 1.9%. The Living Wage Network says even with that increase, minimum wage earners in Barrie are still $6.65 an hour short of affording life. Now, as global tensions continue to drive costs at home, the stock markets have also been on a bit of a roller coaster. Let's take a look at where the numbers closed at the end of the day. The TSX was up 189 points. The Dow was up 224. The Nasdaq was up 250. And commodities, oil was down, closing at $112 a barrel. Gold was up, finishing at $4,813 an ounce. And gold was up, $4,800, and our dollar was up, ending the day at 72 cents US. Okay, I'm a bit distracted, and that is because the Artemis II, its mission is underway. The 10-day trip around the moon and back just took off moments ago.
9,
8, 7, RS-25 engines lit. 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition. And liftoff. The crew of Artemis II now bound for the moon.
Canadian astronaut Jeremy Henson and 3 others taking a trip that humans haven't made in 53 years. Gosh, they're planned to go right around the moon. This is just absolutely stunning footage, from sound to visuals. Just chilling. I'm actually choking back emotion here. I'm so excited for the crew. I mean, obviously there's always nerves when you're watching something like this, especially when it's live. This just happened moments ago. We will obviously continue to follow that. And Jack, now I'm locking him into it. He'll have an update for you tonight at 11. The dream of playing hockey. It can be expensive and not attainable for all. Coming up next here on CTV Barrie, how this young girl's dream of playing hockey is coming true thanks to community support. Stay with us. That's next.
Time now to take a look at your Wednesday night primetime lineup. The Rookie is at 8 and 9 p.m., followed by Criminal Minds at 10 and CTV News Barrie at 11.
Anyone who plays hockey knows that the cost can add up pretty quickly, but in this case, the community stepped up to support one girl's dream of playing goalie. CTV's Colin Smith brings us the story.
Getting ready to hit the ice. Hockey is only something that Jesse Jackard's 8-year-old daughter Sophia started a year ago.
She's been saying she wanted to play hockey since she was probably 3 or 4. And every year I'm like, I cannot commit to spending that money at that age and have her get on the ice and say, I don't think I'm sure.
But her daughter insisted, and as parents of athletes know, it's a major commitment.
Getting her to and from the rink 3 days a week is a lot, and it's pretty much every weekend, every other weekend, so it's a big, big commitment, but she loves it, so it makes it worth doing.
But things changed earlier this month when her coach asked her to play goalie.
She lit right up, so she came off the ice, put all the gear on, went back, and after that, it was like, nope, I 1,000,000% want to be goalie.
This has been something I wanted to do for a while.
But that took a toll.
I was so upset because I'm like, financially, like, how can I be a goalie mom? Like, being a hockey mom is hard, but being a goalie mom is a whole new ballgame.
After piecing together mismatched second-hand gear with help from her team and the local rink, her mom saw the joy in her daughter's eyes and did everything to make that dream come true. So with spring hockey season here, Easter came early for Sophia.
Are they closed?
Overcome with emotion, a gift she'll never forget, a brand new goalie mask.
You don't have to cry. That meant so much to her, which of course meant the world to me.
What she didn't expect was for that video to take off. Since that time, she's had people, organizations, and even an NHL team reach out offering to help.
So far, we've received a new blocker, new mitts coming at some point, a goalie bag.
Things that each cost hundreds of dollars, with strangers pitching in any way they can.
I didn't realize worldwide how big it is and how much people are willing to jump in and help and make like a kid's dream come true.
Backed by her mom and strangers across the globe. Callum Smith, CTV News, Yarmouth.
Case, let's get right in to Get Up and Go.
Get Up and Go looks like this first thing tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock. Have a look. There's Barrie, there's Newmarket, there's Gravenhurst, -2, -1, -3. It looks like mostly sunny skies in Gravenhurst and a whole lot of cloud cover everywhere else first thing tomorrow morning. Have yourself a great evening, Sarah.
Tomorrow, much of our team will be on the road for the Feeding Families campaign, fueled by the Peggy Hill team. Bounce 104.1, Pure Country 106, and CTV Barrie will be collecting food and donations at Canadian Tire Midland. There are 2 entrances, 9303 County Road and 93 Hugo Avenue. We'll be there from 4 until 7. Now, we've cut it right down to the wire tonight here on CTV Barrie, but we wanted to leave you with images of Artemis II.